My sister in ICU maybe 3 weeks ago. We have had absolutely no movement on this. These were two 100-plus pound Rottweilers. Somebody in this community knows who owns these dogs.
Hey you guys, hope all is well with you and yours. So I was over on Ryan's page from the Harvey Historical Society, and he had a note. It said on May 22nd, 2025, he went to a board meeting. So last month, a dog mauls a Harvey Woman as mayor faces years of neglect and a stray problem. So you guys, this woman was mauled last month in Harvey, and no one has said anything about it. And I thought this was really important that Ryan caught this, so thank you to Ryan. It says, it was great to see Cook County Animal Control, Anti-Cruelty Society, and others come out to Harvey to discuss this year's long issue of stray animals in Harvey. Sadly, Mayor Clark and Harvey Police have allowed stray dogs, cats, and other animals to run freely in the streets of Harvey for years now. These animals often attack people or other animals or get hurt or kill themselves. Harvey Police say they're training 2 new animal control officers since the city's sole animal control officer left months ago. So you guys, this is where we get to. The sister of a Harvey resident who was viciously mauled spoke up to confront the mayor and city for not taking action on animal issues. The mayor refused to take any responsibility for the brutal attack or for years of ignoring the huge problem in our city. In fact, he blamed the residents for animal issues. Only time will tell if the city will finally start doing its job and helping these animals to get off the street and into shelters. We certainly pay enough taxes for it. So you guys, I want to play this video, but I want to put it out there. This is, of course, sensitive. I don't even know if mauled is the word. This woman had chunks of her body removed from her that she'll never get back again. And you will hear this story here. 200-pound Rottweilers attacked her. One, I believe, is now deceased. The other one is still on the loose. And no one knows where the dog is, so it could happen again. I thought it was important to put this out just for people who may scroll on the Dalton Harvey Southland saga on YouTube to see and warn their loved ones. I want to commend this sister for standing up for her sister when she could not stand up for herself since she's in ICU trying to heal. This is a horrible thing. It was so many points in this video where I got kind of upset at the mayor because he didn't listen to what his constituent was saying. She's looking for help. I hope this doesn't escalate because of the negligence. And I hope this woman, please gets healing. Okay, let's listen.
Regarding the young lady whose foot was amputated as a result of the attack. Sometimes it doesn't always work out where people are happy with the results, but one of the results of that attack is this meeting that we're having today. So we are trying to do something about it. If we were able to actually find the people responsible, that would be a whole nother thing. But we haven't been able to find the people who are responsible. And as I just asked the people who are on this board, in this forum, this panel, we haven't been able to find the dog either. So we have between the Harvey Police Department, the Cook County Animal Control, and also animal cruelty, we haven't been able to find the dog. But this is once again, this is not only a start where we talk about what happened, but we also talk about what we want to look like in the future. And and how we want to try to prevent these types of things from happening. The unfortunate thing with this situation with the Rottweilers, from my understanding, there were some who were aware that the dogs had been out and about for quite some time. But there was no action taken. And we didn't find out about it until, of course, it was too late. So,
well, actually, people were aware of that dog, both of those dogs. One is deceased, one is, I'm assuming, still at large. But one, it was at least a month that people had already known these dogs were out there. And we found out a month later, and it could have been prevented had we known.
So, it's not that we're not doing anything. The simple fact is we are doing quite a bit. But this is the only thing that we have at this particular point in time. And we have to reach out to our citizens.
Mayor, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Donna Hill.
I know who you are.
Yes, I'm the sister.
I didn't want to put you out there.
No, I'm here.
Go ahead,
For that
okay.
reason. You know, Donna, nobody is speaking. Donna, I feel that my sister doesn't have a voice.
Has the police come and talk to her yet?
The detective interviewed my sister in ICU maybe 3 weeks ago. We have had absolutely no movement on this. These were two 100-plus-pound Rottweilers. Somebody in this community knows who owns these dogs. They're too large for someone not to know. But nobody knocked on doors. Nobody went door to door asking whose dogs these are. We are frustrated as a family because it's like Donna is just a nobody. My sister's whole foot was amputated. She has a heel and an ankle, and that is it. She has huge, she's gonna have 3 surgeries on the 28th, 3 skin grafts to try and put back some of the chunks that was taken out of her arms and to keep the slippage from the skin on her foot so maybe she can get some type of prosthetic. My frustration as a family is that my family was a lifelong Harvey resident. But it's like Donna has been forgotten. It's like, yeah, this woman who was mauled, this woman was mauled to the point where her lung collapsed and she almost died in the ICU. So she's more than just a dog bite victim. She is a tragedy that happened in the streets of Harvey. And no one has been able to find these dogs or these dogs' owners. And we just feel like, because nobody has actually went out and looked. I spoke with you. I had a meeting with you. I had a meeting with the police. Nothing has happened. I walked out of that door of your office. Poof. Nothing. We haven't been contacted. I have contacted that detective. He tells me nothing has been done. It is a problem. It is an issue. If you want to come together and say you have a problem, yeah, you do have a problem.
Okay.
But the problem not only has to be addressed, not only their solution has to be done, but you have to put in the work in order to, if there is issues, you have to put in the work in order to find out what actually happened. Who are these people? People know. The community knows, but the community wasn't even alerted that this happened. If it had happened to a child, the child would not have survived. Why wasn't there something put out on the Harvey website saying, hey, we had a dog bite. This woman was almost killed. Be on the lookout for this dog. You didn't even let your citizens know that it happened. That's a problem.
What area?
145th in between Center and Sangamon is when this happened. On the 15th of last month. Did you know anything about it? No. That's what I'm saying. The citizens were not even made aware, and this one dog is still loose.
Well, but the things you're saying are not necessarily true. Now, unfortunately, first of all, number one is, now what everyone in this room understands, because when I first started off this forum, I talked about the issue. I talked about how your sister would have to deal with some additional things. We want to try to get to the bottom of it and feel that we're required to do something, responsibility to do something. I also talked about how the community can play its part as well, as far as that's concerned, because once again, we had some dogs that were out there that, for some odd reason, nobody knew who or where those dogs were. But we also had people to go out and go door to door. We had people to also canvass the areas to find out those those things. Now, as I spoke to you at that particular point in time, which I wanted to make sure, and that has happened, at least from what I understand, your sister was spoken to, was talked to as well. But this is one of the issues that you get when you're dealing with these stray animals. That's the reason why we want the dogs to be registered. And the reason why we want them microchipped. And the reason why we want people to be more responsible owners is because this doesn't happen. It's not that there's a lack of interest from the city of Harvey. I don't know who said it in here, but other communities aren't having these type of forums talking about how we can fix this situation. And according to Mama, it's a national issue. So, bites didn't only happen in Harvey. They're happening in other places, and those municipalities don't send out an APB as far as the dogs are concerned. But we're here because we do care. I'm here having this conversation because I've not only seen it in my own practice, but you and I had a conversation, and I was trying to do what I thought I could to try to help the issue overall. I do understand the frustration, I really do. But the bottom line is we are trying to do something, and we're trying to do more. And we're going to continue to try to do more. But the one thing for sure is, this is also a people problem. And it's unfortunate, but it just is. So we have to work together as a community to try to prevent this from happening in the future. But I do understand. And then there's certain things that I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't know about the police department because I haven't specifically asked them the specific details. But, my thing is, and like I told you, we have enough information from this situation to try to do the best we can to try to resolve the issue. And there has been all hands on deck. Am I right, Chief? The thing that I told you when I last saw you was that your sister's going to need healing. See, regardless of what the city of Harvey does or does not do, your sister needs healing. Okay? She needs prayer, she needs strength, she needs her family around her, and that's why I told you, okay, I got this. Because I wanted you to be able to focus on your sister.
Yeah. Just left them to come here.
There you go. Okay? But if we can't find a dog, we still can't find a dog. That won't change, unfortunately. And I'm so sorry because I don't like to see it. But unfortunately, that won't change that situation. Now, what I am is I'm tired of seeing it. And I'm hoping that there's enough people in Harvey that's tired of seeing it. And maybe if we all come together to actually do something about it, we can prevent this from happening. Maybe.
There's more eyes and ears.
But it's not, it's not the city diminishing or negating what happened in this particular case. Like I said, once again, let's go back to that type of love y'all want. Did Order have a meeting? Because they got dogs. Did Tilly have a meeting? They got them too. I had quite a few dog bites in my practice, and they all were not in Harvey. Okay? But we're taking the time to...
I would continue, but the mayor goes on and on. I would encourage you to go over to Ryan's channel and please view the full video. And you guys make sure you let your family members know about this issue. Like she said, her sister only has a heel and an ankle left. The dogs took her entire foot. This is a tragedy. Not to mention, we're talking about the physical pain, but let's not forget about the mental anguish she will always endure. And I just thought we didn't have to turn it into like a sermon when her sister had an outcry for help for their family member. You guys, let me know what you think. As always, take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.